Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Anastasia and today I'm excited to show you how to sew this beautiful flower skirt. I absolutely love how delicate and romantic this fabric looks with all these lovely flowers. I originally made this design in tweed and shared that tutorial here on my YouTube channel, but today I wanted to show you how the same pattern can create a completely different look with another fabric. So you can choose any fabric you like and make your own unique version. And of course, for this project I will be using Adelina sewing pattern, which comes with a printable PDF and details step-by-step for the instructions. Everything you need to follow along and sew the skirt with me. You'll find the link in the description. Before we start, let's take a look at the materials we'll need. A dense yet flexible satin for the main fabric, floral mesh with flowers, lining made from the natural or blended fibers, fusible interfacing for the waistband, straight grain fusible stay tape, 1.5 cm wide and a half meter long, 25 cm zipper, and 1 spool of matching thread. Lay the pattern pieces onto the satin according to the cutting layout and cut out all the pieces. Transfer all notches and control marks onto the fabric using a tailor's chalk or a fabric marker. Next, I cut the waistband piece in half along the long edge. This allows me to attach the floral mesh only to the outer waistband piece. Normally, the waistband is designed to be cut on default, but for this version I cut it in 2 separate pieces, which makes the waistband a little narrower. I just wanted it to look more delicate in this design. Next, fold the floral mesh in half, selvage to selvage. Following the cutting layout, place the folded front piece, the back pieces, and the waistband piece onto the mesh. Cut out the mesh pieces, leaving about 2 to 3 mm around the edges, except for the waistline edges on the front and back pieces. Cut 1 front piece on the fold and 2 back pieces from the lining fabric. The lining skirt piece should be 4 cm shorter than the main skirt pieces. Also cut 2 waistband pieces from the fusible interfacing. In addition, cut the fusible stay tape so that extends 2 cm beyond the zipper opening. Fuse the interfacing to the waistband pieces. To make sure the interfacing adheres properly, press the iron down onto the fabric and hold it in place for a few seconds before moving to the next section. Do not slide the iron across the fabric as it may stretch the pieces. Trim away any excess interfacing. Apply the fusible stay tape to the wrong side of the zipper opening area, making sure that the zipper seam line runs directly along the edge of the tape. Place the wrong side of the mesh onto the right side of the satin. Pin the center back edges on the back pieces and the side edges on the front piece together. Smooth out the fabric and align the layers. Trim away any excess if needed, then align the remaining edges and pin them together. Next, place the mesh waistband piece with the wrong side facing the right side of the main waistband piece. First, align one long edge and pin it in place. Smooth out the fabric and align the layers. Trim away any excess if needed, then align the second long edge and pin it as well. In the video, you can clearly see how the extra volume in the mesh disappears once the seam allowances are folded over. Set the stitch length to 3.5 mm. Sew around all edges of the skirt pieces and along the long edges of the waistband pieces, stitching from the mesh side about 3 to 4 mm away from the edge. Lay the skirt pieces flat on the table. Following the dart markings made with the chalk or fabric marker, first pin the dart tips to secure both the mesh and the satin layers together, and then pin the middle and the base of each dart. For extra stability, you can also sew temporary basting stitches along the marked dart lines to prevent the layers from shifting. Fold the darts along the markings right sides together and pin them in place. Set the stitch length to 2.5 mm. Sew the darts from the base towards the dart tip, backstitching at the beginning and end of the seam. After sewing all the darts, press them carefully, without going past the dart tip to avoid creating extra bulk. Press the front darts towards the center and the back darts towards the center back seam. Place the back pieces right sides together. Match the notches, pin the center back seam, and sew from the notch down to the hem. Back stitching in the beginning end of the seam. Place the front and back pieces right sides together. Match the notches, pin the side seams and sew them, back stitching in the beginning end of the seam. Press the center back and side seams first. Then press the seam allowances open. Place the waistband pieces right sides together, pin along the long edge and sew with 1 cm seam allowance. Fold the inner waistband piece outward and understitch it to the seam allowance, sewing 1 to 2 mm away from the seam. Then fold the waistband wrong sides together and press it, forming a slight roll towards the inside. This will prevent the inner waistband from showing on the right side. Trim away the excess seam allowance on the lower waistband piece. Next, place the waistband onto the edge of the skirt, right sides together. Pin it in place, matching the notches. Sew the waistband to the skirt, backstitching at the beginning end of the seam. Press the seam first, then press the seam allowances open to reduce bulk. Clip the seam allowances every 1 to 1.5 cm, stopping 2 mm before the seam line. This helps prevent the zipper area from becoming too stiff or damaged. Unzip the zipper and place it right sides together with one side of the center back seam allowance. The plastic zipper stop should sit 2 mm below the waistband fold. Fold the top edge of the zipper tape to a 45-degree angle and pin the zipper in place. Using an invisible zipper foot, sew one side of the zipper from the waistband fold down to the back seam. Back stitching at the beginning end of the seam. Close the zipper and use the chalk or fabric marker to mark the matching waistband seam position on the other side of the zipper tape, so both the waistband seam will align evenly. Open the zipper again. Place the second side of the zipper right sides together with the other center back seam allowance. Pin it in place. And sew from the back seam up to the waistband fold, back stitching at the beginning end of the seam. Close the zipper and check that the waistband seams match perfectly. Along the hemline, draw a guideline equal to double the hem allowance. So our hem is 4 cm, we mark 8 cm from the hemline. Fold the hem allowance up to the guideline and press it to the wrong side. Place the back lining pieces right sides together, match the notches, pin the center back seam, and sew from the notch down to the hem, backstitching on the beginning end of the seam. Press the seam allowances open. Place the front and back lining pieces right sides together, match the notches, pin the side seams and sew them, backstitching on the beginning end of the seam. Press the seam allowances towards the back. Place the lining and waistband right sides together. Start by matching the notches and pinning them in place. Instead of the darts on the lining, I decided to make a small pleats. So I fold the pleats along the marked lines and pin them in place. Then I continue pinning the lining and the waistband together all the way around. Sew the waistband to the lining from the lining side, backstitching in the beginning end of the seam. Press the seam allowance towards the lining. Place the lining over the skirt so the zipper is sandwiched in between. Align the center back edges and pin them together, matching the waistband seams. Using a narrow zipper foot, sew about 3 mm away from the zipper teeth. Starting from the waistband fold, down to the zipper pull. Then close the zipper and continue sewing from that point down to the center back seam of the lining. Next, sew the other side. Again about 3 mm away from the zipper teeth. Starting from the center back seam of the lining, down to the zipper pull. Open the zipper and continue sewing from that point up to the waistband fold. Check that the waistband corners match evenly. Trim the seam allowances diagonally at the top corners of the center back seam, stopping about 2 mm before the stitching line. From the wrong side, secure the inner and outer waistband together. By making a few securing stitches at the darts and the side seams. This will help prevent the waistband from flipping outward. Pin the bottom edge of the lining to the bottom edge of the skirt. Start by matching the side seams and center back seam, then pin along the entire hemline. Sew along the hemline with 1 cm seam allowance, leaving a 10-15 cm opening. Backstitch in the beginning and end of the seam. Turn the garment right side out. Arrange the lining neatly, press it and secure it with the pins. Then close the opening using a blind stitch as follows. Thread the needle and tie a knot. Insert the needle under the seam allowance from the wrong side, so the knot stays hidden inside the fold. Pull the thread through. Then insert the needle into the folded edge on the opposite side and make a small 2-4 mm stitch. Repeat the same stitch on the opposite side, continuing until the opening is fully closed. Finish with a knot. And give the hem area the final press. And here it is, our skirt is finished. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. You can find the Adelina pattern link in the description, and I'll see you in my next video.